Hello, I'm sorry about that. Welcome to Sandra P's Gen Extra. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. This is the live Married to Medicine review. So I'm going to do the Married to Medicine review, for the episode that came on last night. And then I will also discuss it for anyone that's down in the comments. Also, leave me a comment and let me know what you thought about it. Because the episode was pretty good. The episode was a pretty good one last night. And I was starting to go live and realized I still had some stuff to plug in. And one more thing. Let's see. One of these. That might be two. It might be better. I don't know about blue, yellow. Sometimes the colors will give a different effect, but that blue light is too bright on my face. So hello to anyone that has stopped by. I appreciate that so much. Welcome to Sandra P's Gen Extra. This is still Women's Month, but this is a Roland Martin unfiltered sweatshirt. It's cold outside. Roland Martin, as hopefully everybody knows, he has set up his own media empire over here on YouTube. There's a lot of independent media sources that I enjoy. Roland Martin is one of them. And he gives independent news. He's building his own thing over there. He used to be on CNN. He was on BET for a number of years, and now he's over here on YouTube doing his own thing. So shout out to Roland Martin, Unfiltered. Hello, Mama Bees. Thank you for stopping in, and you can hear me. I appreciate you telling me that. Thank you so much. I'm directly with YouTube this morning, because this afternoon, actually, I'm 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That works for me. And StreamYard sometimes work if I want to present or share, but I haven't had the greatest luck presenting or sharing. So I'm just going to go, just went live YouTube. So thank everyone for stopping in. And this is for the Married to Medicine review, episode 14 already. This is a choosing sides episode. And this was supposed to be mainly focused on Dr. Contessa setting up a medical mission right there in Atlanta, which we love it. I love when the doctors show their expertise. They go live, and she was focused on diabetes. So that ends up being the end of the episode, but she references it throughout the episode, because with choosing sides, what she's trying to do, the old medical missions, they would be in different countries, they would be doing different things, and they would bring everybody in and their spouses, and they would participate. This time, of course, after the situation with King and Dr. Greg possibly filing charges, that's still unclear. It looks like he checked it out or he went to the police, but we still don't know what really happened with that. But Dr. Greg does not want to be around King and Quad does not want to be around, as she put it, the Lunsfords. Okay, so we'll start the review. We start out with the beginning. They show the different families and all of their different habitat. Dr. Heavenly, no, it might have started out with Toya. Toya bringing her son, either Ashton or the other one, bringing them some hair from when she had braided their hair. Toya, just throw that hair away or burn that hair downstairs. She's always trying to embarrass either Eugene or the boys. So they show the son. They're in their room. She said, what are y'all doing? They're getting ready to play Fortnite or something like that. And she says, well, here's this hair from when I braided your hair. And they start laughing. Toya, you can't embarrass those boys because they just like you. They were laughing at her. The next one, we see Dr. Heavenly and Daddy. Daddy and Dr. Heavenly sitting side by side. And she wants to call Laura to check on her. She said, Daddy, you think Laura's sticking by her budget? We don't think Laura's sticking by her budget. But Dr. Heavenly has the bill, the credit card bill in front of her. She's looking through it. She thinks she's going to put Laura on the spot, so she calls her. Laura's been on TV since she was 6 or 7. She's no dummy. And she's like, Mommy, I don't have time to talk to you right now. And before Heavenly can really get anything out of her mouth, Laura said, okay, bye, and hung up on Dr. Heavenly. So that was kind of funny. Dr. Heavenly said, Daddy, I don't think she's following the budget. Dr. Heavenly, I like you with Laura. I like you with your children. I like the engagement that you have with them. You get on my nerves with Dr. Damon, but I can't even be mad at that. I don't like the mean Dr. Heavenly. So this thing that she's doing that I think some of her behind the scenes friends are encouraging her to do with this producing and being negative and nasty with the women is not working for her. It's not working for the ratings. It looks terrible. And we didn't even get started. I didn't really get on Dr. Heavenly, and I probably won't, but I just like to encourage when Dr. Heavenly is doing something that is not foul, because so often we see her being foul. We show sweet tea, serving Dr. Greg another liquid meal. Sweet tea. It's not water today. It's not a smoothie. She is making tea. Asked him if he wanted any. He said, yeah, he likes some. She pours him a glass of tea. Or maybe it was hot tea. I don't know, but it was a liquid meal. We didn't see any baked goods. We didn't see anything. Not saying because Dr. T is the woman, she has to do any of that. But if she's the one that is home, he is the one walking in. And if it were vice versa, I would expect him to have something for her. But we've yet to see them eat a meal together. Well, I think they ate a meal together, but not one that was like a home meal. And I don't want to compare Sweet Tea to Quad, but Quad has a cookbook out. We'll see the cookbook at the end. She will bring food in. So we had Jackie confirming, sitting down with Dr. Simone, confirming that the Met Gala met their goal, everybody. After everybody being concerned they wouldn't meet their goal, she reluctantly admits that Phaedra gave her a check. I don't know the complete amount. Was it $40,000, $45,000? But whatever it was, Phaedra Parks ended up funding the amount that she promised to give, and the Met Gala met their $100,000 goal. Of course, Dr. Jackie has to begin speaking negatively on Phaedra. She let Simone know that Phaedra said that she's not going to be around us anymore. Simone wants to know why, and Dr. Jackie let her know. She said, she said that it was too much that y'all invited Apollo. And then Simone is saying what some of the audience is saying. Well, she invited him to the reunion last year in New York. And Dr. Jackie correctly points out, Phaedra thought that the reunion, and it was a more controlled environment, which is correct. Just Apollo was there. She did invite him because the ladies were speculating on him, where he was, his whereabouts, and their relationship the entire season. So she did produce him. She had produced him at the end, at the reunion. She did. It doesn't mean that now the whole group can willy-nilly invite Apollo anytime they have something. And God forbid Shireen, who cheated on Phaedra when she was pregnant with their second child. Simone, what part of this are you not getting? I think Simone is being willfully dense. Simone is not this ignorant. Because if Cecil and Tammy were the best of friends, you knew her as well. She was in your life for years. Can we have her around? We already know the answer. Dr. Heavenly bet not invite Tammy or Hilton Head Airport woman or Dominican Republic woman. None of them. None of them better not come to any type of event. So don't sit up here and act like you don't know why Phaedra doesn't want Apollo around, even though she invited him to an event last year in New York, surrounded by security, and allowed him to get a check. So next we have, they show confessional Phaedra. She said, I pay my obligations. That's right, Phaedra. She said she pays her obligations because we know Dr. Heavenly lied and pretended that Phaedra still owed them money. And Dr. Jackie got on TV and let it be known she doesn't owe any money. She presented a large check and it cleared. So we can put a button on that. That's done. Contessa and Dr. Heavenly have a sit-down lunch. We've been waiting for this. They go back and forth about what their disagreement was. Both of them act and pretend that they don't understand why the other is mad. I will tell them. Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Contessa is mad because you and she considered real friends in real life. And you went into that closet for your YouTube channel and you took a question from a viewer asking whether or not you believe she was in an abusive marriage. And you gave your honest opinion, which was you said, yes, you felt that she was. Dr. Contessa is mad at you because of that. Dr. Heavenly is claiming she's mad at Contessa because, and I'm going to give Dr. Heavenly this. She did tell Contessa, and she told her at the reunion, she said, I told you, if you're going to stay with your husband, stop talking about it. Okay, I'm going to say this to Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly, you're on a reality show. You can't have a situation and just stop talking about it. When you reach that point, I want you to go ahead and get off the show because you and Damon don't let us know anything about what's going on over there in that man cave. We don't know why Daddy's in the man cave. We don't know why Similac is on the counter. We don't know any of those things. We don't know any of those things. And you are loud in the closet weekly talking about everything and everybody else. So that's the thing I don't understand. Mahogany Meeks, hello. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. One of my moderators, my little sis, Mahogany Meeks, thank you so much. So Heavenly is right on that. Dr. Heavenly is telling Contessa that she did warn her. And it's true, she did warn her, but I understand Dr. Contessa still being upset about it. But Dr. Contessa, Heavenly's apologized, whether or not her apologies mean anything. She has repeatedly said to you, okay, this is the past. Can we please stop bringing it up? You're going to stay with Scott. Things seem to have improved with you and Scott. You and Heavenly can get along. Dr. Heavenly has a lot of mouth. She's not going to fight you. So don't need to keep bucking up at her and telling her to square up. Going to, because she's not going to square up. She's just going to talk. If y'all going to be in the same circles, put this in the past. That's virtually what the lunch was. That was basically it. So they agreed to disagree with the words that they used. Agree to disagree. We go home with Dr. Eugene and Toya. Toya is preparing for this Bridgerton themed ball that we're going to see next week. It looks like it's going to be a big mess. I've never been a Bridgerton fan. I tried to watch it. I don't think I made it past an episode or two. I'm just unconcerned. Not that I don't like period history or anything like that. I didn't really care about Bridgerton. And I do like Shonda Rhimes. I like a lot of Shonda Rhimes' work, but Bridgerton is one that never caught me up. Not that I won't go back years later and watch something, because maybe I will, but that is something that didn't really get me. Yet, we'll see. I'm still side-eyeing Mimi. Sweet Tea brought her on, and she didn't stand up for Sweet Tea. Mama Bees, that is correct. We get to see Drs. Mimi and Dr. Contessa speak to Sweet Tea. And every time Dr. Mimi is before somebody else, she ends up on the side of that person. She's kind of wishy-washy. I'm going to give her grace being a newbie and having her, her freshman season. Dr. Mimi, you got to do better. Because Sweet Tea did introduce Dr. Mimi as a friend, and we've yet to see Dr. Mimi be a friend. So we'll see what's going to happen going forward. But Dr. Eugene has broken his toe. He said, and he showed us the toe. Toya, being Toya, with her nasty self, is going to compare it to a peen. Oh, it looks like a penis. It didn't look like a penis. It looked like a broken toe. What is wrong with Toya? She is a mess, but it had a split in it. It was, and he said it is really painful. He said that somebody, Toya or the boys, were driving the golf cart around the neighborhood and they don't charge it. So the golf cart was stranded. He had a tow truck come to bring it home. He stood behind the tow rail and it landed on his foot, breaking his toe. Toya is unconcerned. She wants to know when they're going to start doing this dance Bridgerton ball. Toya, take care of Dr. Eugene. You helped break his toe, and don't do that. He's one of the breadwinners in the house. We know you got money coming in, but right now, Dr. Eugene's foot is hurting him, and his toe is broken. So help him with that. Dr. Eugene, we see him again, stand up for Dr. Greg as his friend. They're talking about the Met Gala. They're talking not the Met Gala. They're talking about the upcoming Bridgerton ball and Dr. Contessa's medical event. It's a diabetes-focused medical event, but all different kind of doctors. Even Dr. Heavenly's going to be there doing dental-type screenings. So that's going to be exciting. But they're talking about that. Toya is still upset that Sweet Tea won't say, yeah, I want to be in the room with Quad and King. She can't say that because Dr. G is still upset about the whole situation. So Toya is now giving this other narrative that Sweet Tea and Dr. Greg are the ones that want everybody to choose sides and are refusing to be with King and Quad. I don't think that that's what it is. I think that now that they have made up with Quad, they want Sweet Tea to either just get going, her and her husband get out of there, or to not say anything about it and let Quad talk all over them if she feels like it or not, or ignore them if she feels like it. And I don't think Dr. Greg or Sweet Tea are the type people that's going to allow that. So the next scene, we see Dr. Simone and Cecil. First, we see their two sons inside their nasty condo. Then we hear knock, 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 knocking on the door. The two look at the door and keep talking. Dr. Simone then busts in. I don't know if she had a key or what. She came in. Didn't y'all hear me knocking? I know y'all heard me knocking. I came over here to see what's going on. Look at this, Cecil. What's going on? The condo, which the last time we saw the condo, we saw Cecil and Dr. Simone in hazmat suit cleaning up for these grown men who are now working. Michael might still be in college. Miles, I don't know the age. One is older, one is younger. I think Miles is the older one who started college. It didn't really work, so now he's working. He told his brother he had to be at work at 5, and the brother talking about in the morning. So Michael, I don't know what's going on with these guys. I don't know why they don't clean up this apartment. It's two young men, producers being messy like the young men. scan the apartment. Y'all, that apartment is nasty. There's garbage still in the house. There's socks and stuff laying around. It just, these young men can do better than this. And Simone, she leads the conversation. Cecil sitting there smiling. I don't know that he thinks it's funny. I think that maybe he has a nervous laughter around Simone. What y'all think of that apartment? And then when Simone breaks down the bill, she said, the mortgage is $2,000, X amount of dollars. Each one of y'all will owe $1,087. Y'all can't afford to pay that. And then she starts telling them what the gas bill, this bill, that bill, this bill. So evidently, Dr. Simone and Cecil are financing these grown adult men's life. I don't have a problem with that. I love when Black people are able to do that. I do have a problem with, looks like Miles and Michael are taking advantage of the situation and either not in school or working to their full potential or building some type of small business, something. I don't know what the two of them are doing, but why don't they clean up this place? And what kind of young ladies are they bringing back to this place? Are y'all going back to these nasty places? I never did. When I was in college, I didn't go to any, no, we didn't do that. Because both of my parents were from the South. They were clean. We lived in an apartment. We lived in New York. You could not have a nasty house or sticky floors or any of that stuff. The roaches would come into your house from a neighbor's house if you didn't have them and pick you up, take you up out of there. So we had to sweep and mop. We sweep and mop. The boys that was their job, sweep and mop. My sisters and I, our job was to do laundry. Everybody in the house had their job. And the house was clean. To have 7 kids in it, because I'm number 7 and 8. One is passed away the same year I was born, but 9 people in a home and our 4-bedroom apartment, it was clean. So these 2 boys, just looking at them, and Dr. Simone screeching at the top of her lungs is not going to do any good. And then the solution that she came up with, y'all, she said, if y'all can't do better, this is it. She said, you're going to buck the system. That's how Simone is. It's just her, Cecil sitting there smiling, the 2 boys looking at her board and kind of laughing, and Dr. Simone is on 10. You're going to buck the system. You're going to have to move back home. And that's going to be a punishment to me and your dad because we have a good time without y'all there. Dr. Simone, why do you want to punish you and Cecil? Because these grown men can't keep the place clean. I don't understand it. I don't have any children, so I don't understand it. I had to babysit yesterday and I got so frustrated. And one of the people frustrated me was only 8 years old. So I don't know how y'all do it. Shout out, love, congratulations to the parents. Because I don't understand it. I don't understand it. We'll see if I have any comments. Mama Bees is speaking to Mahogany Meeks, and Mahogany Meeks is speaking back. She not getting no grace from me. Mahogany Meeks is not giving Dr. Mimi any grace. Even in the first season, even in her freshman season, Mahogany Meeks is tough. She's tough on him. She said no. She said no grace. Okay, I can understand that. I can understand that. So next we go to King and Quad. King shows up late to Quad's house. They're both dressed in, they're going into the hot tub. So they got on swimsuits. Quad still got what she calls her body by God. Yes, Quad. Quad has always kept herself up, kept herself together. Quad's looking beautiful. King is nice looking. They make a stunning couple. Now I keep hearing, this is allegedly, and in my opinion, that maybe they're broken up again. They may not have ever been a real couple. We don't know what's going on with that. But King said he's late because of work and traffic. He came in, they go outside to, that backyard is resort worthy. They go outside to the hot tub because I wonder why Quad was sweating. She was kind of dabbing her face. They weren't in the pool area, but there is a hot tub area. So they were in there. She's serving him some wine or champagne. He said, oh, good, I love to be served. They kind of teasing with each other a little bit. And he's like, what do you want? I recognize this mood. You might want something. Quad has come up in her head. She said, well, Heavenly made a suggestion. I'm already saying, uh-oh. Because Dr. Heavenly, y'all, she got some kind of certificate and she calls herself a relationship expert. Do the people see the havoc that she wreaks on relationships on this show and in real life? Do they see that? But she's some type of relationship expert. I'll put that in quotes. Those are my quotes. She's a relationship expert, y'all. She done told Quad to ask King to move in with her to the house. They're not married. King has his own spot. King is Jamaican. He's from Brooklyn, a Brooklyn Jamaican. He's independent. King's like, I thought that if we're going to be moving on together, we would maybe either sell or rent this and get something together. King, that's usually how it works for men. That's how it works. I've seen a situation where the man moved in with the woman. It did not work out. I mean, it worked out for them, but It just, sometimes that's not the thing to do, King. Okay, that's not the thing to do. I mean, King, he's saying that he doesn't want to move in. Quad is trying to convince him that they should move in. They talk about tradition and she's like, her confessional Quad says that he needs to get away from his traditional way of thinking. I don't think that King is red pill or anything like that. He's just been raised a certain way. And a lot of men of his age, he's probably older millennial. These 50% men, 50% off men or whatever, this is a new thing. This is relatively new. This is the podcast bros, these passport bros. They want women to go 50% with them. But they also want traditional, where the woman's cooking, cleaning, doing everything else, working the same type job, and then giving 50% of the money. Some of these men are crazy. King is not in that mindset. He has a mindset where a man does certain things. If he is going to marry Quad, even if they're just going to be together in a relationship, if they live together, he doesn't want to move into her house. And I understand him. Also, that the information came from Dr. Heavenly, that would give me pause. Because what her and daddy is doing work for her and daddy, but I don't see how it would work for anybody else. Also, Quad brings up the fact about that they're going to go to this gala. She don't really want to go if Sweet Tea and them are there. So we get to the event, Dr. Contessa's medical event. She's meeting with the Kidney Foundation. It's focused on diabetes, but she says that they're going to have primary care physicians and also all these different specialties. They have an NFL area set up outside with Dr. Steve and other formal NFL players. Y'all, it was so nice. They had all these booths and everything like that. It was really nice. Dr. Heavenly and Damon, we show them driving together. For once, Dr. Heavenly is talking about being excited. She's going to do the dental screenings. Dr. Damon's talking. And then Dr. Heavenly has to bring up Sweet Tea and Dr. Greg in a negative light. Well, what I think it is, the reason that Dr. G don't want them around, he don't want to be around Quad's new man. And Dr. Damon, see the camera in the car, he knows. He's like, I can't say that that's what it is. I can't speak to why Greg wants them around or doesn't want them around, but I don't think the two sides are going to be able to come together unless, everybody can just chill out or whatever Dr. Damon said. But Dr. Heavenly brought it up again. Dr. Damon didn't really want to have that conversation, but they get to the event. Everybody's at the event. Someone lets Dr. Contessa know that Dr. Greg is coming, but he's coming the last hour or something like that. Because we know Dr. Greg has a thriving practice in Atlanta. He's a mental health professional, a Black male mental health professional, and that is rare. He's needed in that profession. And we said Dr. G probably needs his, we'll speculate that maybe he needs his own physician that can do what he does for him, but he's valuable. And Dr. Damon has even sent patients to Dr. Greg. So I'm not going to take anything away from his professionalism. And this event looks really nice. So Dr. Contessa is giving some stats. She's giving a rousing talk. She says diabetes is really dangerous. It had targeted her family. Her family has been disproportionately affected. She said that she had a grandmother that by the time she was diagnosed with it, she had stage 4 renal failure or something like that. She was just giving all this information. We already know that Dr. Contessa had lost her mother as a young lady. The children were taking care of the mom in their home during her last days, and the mother even died in the home. So she's telling these stories. Also, she gave a stat. She said Black people are 13% of the population. Those numbers have been the same for so long, y'all. They're always giving us 13 to 14%. That's what they say. The one we're missing or we sit down, honey, everybody looking for us. So with 13% of the population, but 50% of diabetics, that is a shocking stat. And I do know a lot of people that have diabetes. Actually, I'll be candid. One time, a few years ago, I was probably about 30 pounds heavier. Maybe it's 10 years ago, because I was working a job where I was sitting down. I was about 30 to 40 pounds heavier. I got a pre-diabetic diagnosis. And that's where it's just, your numbers are such that you can fix it. The doctor can, the doctor tells you what you need to do in order to fix it. Usually it's lose weight, fix your diet. I remember at the time, I never really ate crazy, but had to half my portions, that sort of thing. If you're a drinker, you cut that out, all of that. So I was really glad that Dr. Contessa were giving these figures and that all of this information made it to TV. It wasn't just arguing. So this is really good. This is vintage standard married to medicine, Mariah Huck's vision. This is what we like to see. It's what I like to see. People, everybody that is in the bushes, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much. So this was excellent. So the women are inside, the men are outside. Quad shows up in scrubs, everybody. Why are you in scrubs? She is so extra. Contessa said, when I don't have to wear scrubs or I'm not doing something or a medical event, I'm not even in scrub. But I will give this to Quad. A lot of people don't remember. Quad was not just a housewife when she was with Greg, even though he is married to medicine. They have the spouses. All the spouses did something else as well. They had some type business. But when we first meet Quad, it was a pharmaceutical sales rep. And I've known some pharmaceutical sales reps, they make good money. And in addition to being pharmaceutical sales rep, they have to be very knowledgeable on what it is that they're selling at that time, because they're going to doctors' offices and explaining these different medicines and prescriptions to the doctors. And it's a lucrative profession. So she was doing that. She met a lot of doctors doing that, but she also, I heard that Mariah is the one that introduced her to Dr. Greg, but she was in the orbit of doctors. And I mean, Quad was on her job. Quad was working toward a certain thing, and she has that certain lifestyle. She worked toward it. But she's in scrubs. Quad, there's no reason for you to be in scrubs today, but she looked cute. Everybody looked cute. Everybody was representing their own practice or whatever it is they do. Dr. Heavenly was in the Dr. Heavenly Smiles. Her scrubs were cute. Dr. Contessa, what she had on. Dr. Simone and Jackie, they fade into the background. I didn't really see or hear a lot from Dr. Simone and Jackie. But when the women started talking, Quad, that's when she said, I don't intend to be around the Lunsfords. And she let Contessa know when they come in, she's going to exit. Dr. Heavenly is piping up. She's speaking really loud. Yeah, that's right. Me too. I'm not going to be over here either. I'll be in solidarity with Quad, which is true. And I don't know why they brought that up at that time, because the attendees of the event, y'all, they were at the booths. At this point, they were sitting at tables. I don't know if they were having snacks or lunch or anything like that, but they started to look toward the group of doctors and Quad, and there appeared to be an argument. It was getting kind of loud, and I could see Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie. That's how I know they were still there. Heavenly was talking so loud, they were trying to shush her and kind of tap her on her shoulder and thing like that. That doesn't impact Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Damon's the only one I know who's been able to get her to shush just a little bit when she goes too far. But the women have already chosen. They say they're not picking sides, but they are picking sides. Mahogany Meek said, ain't nobody going to marry Quad the fraud. Unless she marries another fraud, Mahogany Meeks. Allegedly and in my opinion. But if somebody marries Quad the fraud, allegedly and in my opinion, it could be another fraud. But then what's the value in that? Somebody had to pay for that house. She's very attached to that house. She said that's the first home she bought with her own money. And people have looked up Quad's house and the payments and all this kind of stuff. Quad has to have real income coming in. Now, she has invested really well, according to her. She said that during one of the Married to Medicine's reunion. But a house, I don't care if it's a paid-for house. And this one is not a paid-for house yet. It still has upkeep. It's still money that's going to go out in relation to that house. So outside, the men are talking to Dr. Greg. I like the way Dr. Greg, Dr. Greg was sitting there, but I like the way Dr. Steve was speaking to Dr. Greg. He was trying to get Dr. Greg to see that his situation with Quad and King is impacting other relationships in the group. Dr. Greg's literally sitting there. He's pouting. He's mad, y'all. Dr. Greg is still mad. Okay, I don't agree with King charging Dr. Greg. He did take his shirt off and charge this man. If Dr. Greg wants to press charges, you can press charges. But what he's doing now, it is impacting the group. It is. And I don't know what he think is going to happen. I don't know why he and Sweet Tea, or maybe it's not Sweet Tea, maybe it's just him, want to press this group to choose sides. Looking at it as a viewer, it looks like they've already chosen sides. If they have to choose, they're going to choose Quad. They're not going to choose Leteasha and Dr. Greg. So either you're going to be able to work with these people or not. Dr. Greg's telling the group, it's hard being in this group. I don't even know him. I can't fix it with him, but I can tell you who I can fix it with. I think the Quad should say something. So Dr. Greg apparently wants Quad to say something like what? An apology? She's not going to apologize to him. She don't like you, Dr. Greg. She stopped liking y'all when you were still married. So I don't understand what Dr. Greg is making no sense, y'all. He wants apparently a sit down with Quad or something like that. Even Curtis is appalled. Confessional Curtis said, Quad doesn't need to sit down with Dr. Greg. This needs to be fixed between the two men. Curtis agreed. I agree. Dr. Jackie in the confessional didn't even speak. She nodded her head. She agreed with Curtis, and I do as well. So Quad's not going to sit down with you, Greg. I don't know what's going on with that. So they flash back to the ladies. At this stage of the game, Leteasha enters, and Quad did what she said she was going to do. She starts walking out. Dr. Heavenly's following her. Okay, that's fair. Bye, y'all. You said you were going to leave. Why did Dr. Heavenly say, you need to get some help, Dr. Contessa, get some help? Why are you doing that at this lady's medical diabetes event? Why are you doing that? I can't stand when Dr. Heavenly acts like that. Get some help for what? Was she saying get some help to help finish up the event because it's the last hour of the event? Or get some help, maybe like mental type help? What? I don't know what Dr. Heavenly, if you're leaving, go ahead and leave. Quad left. You follow her out. Why are you yelling? And didn't you and Dr. Damon ride together? How's he supposed to get home? Dr. Heavenly does too much. She does way too much most of the time. Back outside with the men, Dr. Steve is asking Dr. Greg if he'll consider dropping charges. Dr. Greg said, he doesn't know whether or not he's going to drop charges. I don't know, y'all. Are there any charges? People looked it up. We don't see any charges. There's no charges. But I know Bravo TV allegedly has said that the two of them, they can't shoot together. King can't shoot with the group. King can shoot with Quad. Like when he came over to her house, he can shoot with her. They have their scenes together, but he can't shoot with the group, which is fair. You can't stop from fighting each other. And remember, earlier in the year, during one of my reviews, I speculated when Quad had said, my support blanket has been removed, whether or not that was King. We did know that there's something that went down in Key West, and that is apparently what it was, that King was told he's not able to shoot with this group. So Dr. Steve in his confessional says that ego is now involved, and Dr. Greg probably is not going to do anything as far as withdrawing the charges or making it easier for the group as a whole to be around King. So Sweet Tea and Greg are being told by their respective groups that the group doesn't want to have to choose sides. I hope they can see that the group has already chosen a side. I'm curious as to what's going to happen. I'm curious. So we got the Bridgerton ball coming up next week. I don't know what's going to happen at the Bridgerton ball, y'all. Everybody's going to be there. Dr. Greg and Sweet Tea are going to be there. King and Quad are going to be there. Now, for this medical event, King didn't even show up. So I don't know why Quad was doing all that. And what was King going to do at the event? Was he going to lease cars to the diabetics? What were you going to do at the event, King? So I don't understand. I don't know. And honestly, if they don't do some type of reboot or reset or just change with the cast, probably starting with Dr. Heavenly. And I don't care if Dr. Heavenly's people say the show ain't going to be nothing without Dr. Heavenly. The ratings are in the toilet with Dr. Heavenly. They brought Phaedra over there to try to help. It helped the ratings for a little bit. And then the ratings went right back in the toilet. The only thing people are watching is when we know that there's something coming up that we want to see, then we'll tune into that. Other than that, nobody's really watching. So Dr. Heavenly's taking this show down into the gutter, just like Mariah Huck said she was going to do, with the help of her friends. She's got a lot of friends that want to be producers. Some of them are producers and they want to be that. And then others are not. They're just bloggers running their mouth, like me. I'm running my mouth. But I'm also not going to cast behind the scenes, even if I had access, and telling them how to ruin their show. That's crazy to me. Some of it seems deliberate to me, because I don't understand why Dr. Heavenly is taking the advice of one of the people she's taking the advice of. He can't keep his show on the air. If Carlos King could keep his shows on the air, why is he and Dr. Heavenly's there over here messing with Bravo? And then the one star that he had on the show ran her off. So now we don't even know if that's coming back. It might be paused permanently. It might not be renewed. We don't know what's going on with that. That is a mess. Hey, Reem Bass, thank you for stopping in. Thank you so much. I was doing the Married to Medicine review. Team Replay, stop by and also just leave me a comment, like, share. Mahogany spoke to Reem Bass. Good to see you. I hope everything's going well. Mahogany Meek's ornery today. She said, I don't like Steve either. I like Dr. Mimi and Steve. So there's no grace for Dr. Mimi from Mahogany Meeks. And there is also, she don't like Dr. Steve either. I wonder if they're trying to play both sides because this is their freshman season and they're so new and they don't want this group to get on them. But what I like them to know is that if this group is successful in getting Leteasha and Dr. Greg off the show, if they just say later for it and they don't want to come back, because we got the reunion coming up. And that Phaedra's not at the reunion, so it's going to be all guns ablaze at Sweet Tea. If they decide not to come back, Mimi, what they're going to do now, it's going to be Dr. Mimi and Dr. Steve. You're going to be in these people's sights because they're still not going to tell any of their business. They're going to fixate and focus on the two of you. So you should have tried to really keep Sweet Tea and Dr. Mimi. Should have tried to be on the same side. Dr. Contessa, she's been flip-flopping a lot too. I like Dr. Contessa, but she's been known to flip-flop because she easily forgave Dr. Heavenly. She still kind of doesn't trust her, but she did seem to want to make up with Dr. Heavenly. And Dr. Heavenly was especially vicious toward Contessa. Even though Contessa is always bucking up, threatening to fight, I think what Dr. Heavenly actually did to her, as far as the names that she was calling Scott, also the names that Dr. Heavenly called Dr. Greg, she does a lot of career damaging things to people. If a doctor is known to be abusive, or if a doctor is known to be a PDF file, that could ruin them, that could ruin their business, that could put them in jail. So Dr. Heavenly goes way too far. The people have forgiven her because they think she's funny. They find her funny. But that wraps up the review. We're right at 36 minutes or so. If you didn't get a chance to like the video when you came in, please like the video as you leave. And I thank you so much for stopping by, Sandra P's Gen Extra. If you didn't see the shirt, this is Roland Martin Unfiltered. So find him over on YouTube in the news sector speaking really loudly about current events. You'll get some laughs too, because Roland's really funny. He gets to do his own thing over there. He should have some really good tribute stuff. We lost a lot of people became ancestors and got their wings last week. So we had Angie Stone pass away, Dwayne Wiggins from Tony. So a lot of people have lost their wing. I didn't mention Dolly Parton's husband. We give an honorable shout out to Carl Dean. They were married 60 years, y'all. My parents got right at 63 years. So Dolly Parton and Carl Dean were together for 60 years. I follow her, and she put out a heartfelt thank you to all her fans and all her supporters, and said that the messages and all those things are helping her get through. She made a little song for him. Everybody knows Dolly Parton is an amazing songwriter. She lives and eats and donates all her money off of her writing. She said, "I Will Love You" made her so much money that a lot of it has become charitable. And she was able to restore an area in Appalachian Mountains where she's the Black area of her hometown where she's from, because she said Whitney gave that song a resurgence, and a lot of the money that came in, that's what she wanted. She was interested in giving back. So our ancestors, people that got their wings last week, rest in peace to them, rest in power. Green Bass, I'll replay so I can see the first part. Please do. It was mainly Married to Medicine. And then I'll just thanking everybody for coming, like, share, subscribe, and everybody enjoy the rest of your day. Have magnificent Monday and the rest of the week. Thank you. Bye.